My fiancée told me, I just need some time to figure out my feelings. I gave her space, trusting her words, until I stumbled upon texts, secret calls, and late-night plans that shattered everything I thought I knew. In that instant, the life I imagined with her felt like it never existed. I'm a 31-year-old guy, and up until 3 months ago, I thought I had my life figured out. Sarah and I had been together for 4 years. We got engaged last summer at her parents' lake house. The whole thing was perfect. Her mom cried, her dad shook my hand for what felt like 5 minutes straight, and Sarah kept saying yes, over and over like she couldn't believe it was real. We set a date for this coming June. I'd already put down deposits on the venue, the photographer, the caterer, and even the damn florist. We had cake tastings scheduled. We'd started our registry. This was happening. Then, in early January, things started feeling off. Sarah became distant. She'd stay late at work events she'd never mentioned before. She'd take her phone into the bathroom when she showered. When I'd ask her what was wrong, she'd just say she was stressed about wedding planning and her job. I believed her because I'm an idiot who wanted to believe her. I even suggested we postpone some of the wedding planning to take pressure off her. She said no, that wasn't necessary. She just needed to get through this rough patch at work. 2 weeks ago, she sat me down on our couch, the same couch we'd picked out together at IKEA on a Saturday afternoon, arguing about whether to get the gray or the blue, and eventually compromising on the gray because she said it would hide stains better, and said those words that changed everything. I just need some time to figure out my feelings. She had tears in her eyes, real tears streaming down her face. She held my hand and told me it wasn't about me, that she loved me, but she felt overwhelmed and needed space to think clearly about our future together. How much space? I asked, my voice barely working. Maybe a couple weeks. I'll stay at my friend Monica's place. We can still text, but I just need to not be here right now. I need to clear my head. I didn't want to agree, but what choice did I have? Force her to stay? Beg her not to go? I helped her pack a bag that night, watched her take her toothbrush from the holder, her pillow from our bed, that book she was halfway through reading. The apartment felt like a tomb after she left. I sat in the dark for 2 hours just staring at the wall. For 5 days, I gave her that space. I texted once, I love you. I'm here when you're ready to talk. Take all the time you need. She responded with a heart emoji. That was it. 1 heart emoji in 5 days. Then came last Thursday. I was doing laundry, her laundry actually, stuff she'd left behind in the hamper. I found her iPad wrapped in a sweater at the bottom of the basket. The battery was almost dead, so I plugged it in to charge, thinking she might need it and would ask for it eventually. When the screen lit up, I saw she was still logged into her iMessage account. The notification preview on the lock screen showed a message from someone named D. No contact name, just the letter. The message read, "Can't wait to see you tonight. I'll bring the wine you like." My hands started shaking. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it. I unlocked the iPad. We'd always known each other's passcodes. One of those couple things that felt like trust at the time. The messages loaded, and my entire world disintegrated right there in our laundry room. The conversation went back weeks, months actually, since November. There were good morning texts, inside jokes, late-night messages that made me want to throw up. But it was the recent ones that killed me. The ones from the past 2 weeks while she'd been figuring out her feelings. D. January 10th, 9:47 p.m. Did you talk to him yet? Sarah, 9:52 on p.m. Yeah, I told him I needed space. He bought it completely. D. 9:53 p.m. Good. This weekend then? We can finally stop hiding. Sarah, 9:55 p.m. I feel terrible but also relieved. Is that horrible? D. 9:58 p.m. You're not horrible. You're just finally choosing yourself. Choosing us. I sat on the floor of our bedroom reading through everything. My legs just gave out. There were photos they'd exchanged, Nothing explicit, but intimate enough. A picture of him at some bar, holding up a drink to the camera with a stupid grin. A selfie Sarah had sent from our bathroom mirror wearing the black lingerie set I'd bought her for Christmas, the one that cost me almost $200 at that fancy boutique she liked. The timestamp was January 8th, 3 days before she asked for space. I couldn't breathe right. I kept reading, scrolling back further and further. They'd met at her company's holiday party in December. He was someone's +1, a friend of a coworker. They'd exchanged numbers that night, started texting the next day. By late December, they'd met up for coffee at that place on 5th Street, then drinks at the bar near her office, then dinner at Marcello's, the Italian place downtown I'd been trying to get reservations at for our anniversary for months. She'd told me she was working late those nights. I remembered them specifically. December 18th, she'd texted me around 6 p.m., saying her team was doing an emergency strategy session. December 22nd, she said her boss needed her to finish a presentation. I'd even made her dinner on the 22nd and left it in the fridge for when she got home at 11 p.m. She'd heated it up and told me I was the best fiancé in the world while she ate it. I found a message from January 2nd where she told him, "I think I'm falling for you, and I don't know what to do about it." This wasn't supposed to happen. His response, "Then don't fight it. Life's too short to stay with someone out of obligation." That word, obligation. 4 years of my life, 4 years of building a future together, reduced to an obligation. Update 1, I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw those messages. I took screenshots of everything. I know how this works. Evidence matters in these situations, and sent them to my email. Then I plugged her iPad back in exactly where I found it, wrapped in the same sweater, and put it back in the hamper. I waited. Friday morning, I called in sick to work. I told my boss I had food poisoning. I couldn't function. I couldn't pretend to care about spreadsheets and meetings when my entire life was falling apart. Around noon, Sarah texted me, "How are you holding up?" I know this is hard. I stared at that message for 10 minutes before responding, "I'm okay. Missing you, though. How's Monica's place working out?" "It's good. She's been really supportive and letting me talk through everything. I think this space is helping me get clarity." "That's great," I typed back, each word making me feel sick. "I'm glad you have support through this." I wanted to scream. I wanted to call her and tell her I knew everything. Instead, I started planning what I'd do next. I knew from the messages they were supposed to meet Saturday night. She'd told him she was free all weekend and that they should make the most of it, since they'd been so careful for so long. I decided I'd be there too, watching. I just had to figure out where exactly they'd be. Saturday afternoon, I texted her, "Hey, I know this is bad timing, but I think I left my AirPods at Monica's place when I helped you move your stuff last week. Can I swing by real quick to grab them?" She responded 20 minutes later. "Actually, I'm not at Monica's right now. I'm running errands and meeting up with some friends later. Can it wait until tomorrow? I'll bring them to you." "Sure, no problem," I replied. "Have fun with your friends." Liar. I knew exactly where she was. I'd seen the messages. She was at his apartment on the west side, helping him prepare dinner before they went out for the evening. She'd sent him her ETA at 3 p.m. with a winky face. I drove there. I don't know what I expected to accomplish, but I couldn't sit in our apartment anymore, surrounded by her things, pretending I didn't know the truth. His building was one of those modern ones with the glass doors and the fancy intercom system. I parked across the street where I had a clear view of the entrance and waited. At 7:15 p.m., they came out together. She was wearing the blue dress, the one with the little flowers on it that I'd told her looked beautiful on her last spring, the one she wore when I proposed at the lake house. He had his hand on the small of her back in that possessive way. She was laughing at something he'd said, tilting her head back the way she used to laugh with me when we first started dating. I followed them in my car, keeping enough distance that they wouldn't notice. They went to a restaurant 3 blocks away, one of those trendy places with exposed brick and Edison bulbs. I watched them get a table by the window. I watched him reach across and take her hand. I watched her lean in and kiss him like she meant it. I sat in my car for 45 minutes just watching them through that window like some pathetic stalker. At one point, she excused herself, probably to the bathroom, and I saw him check his phone and smile at whatever he was looking at. When she came back, he stood up and pulled her chair out for her like a perfect gentleman. They ordered dessert. They shared it with 1 spoon. I drove home and drank half a bottle of whiskey straight from the bottle. Update 2. Sunday morning, I woke up on the couch with a splitting headache. My phone showed a text from Sarah sent at 9:32 a.m. I think I'm ready to talk about everything. Can I come by this afternoon around 4? I think I've figured some things out. Sure, I responded, just that one word. She showed up at 3:50, which would have been punctual if it was the actual time she'd suggested. She looked nervous, fidgeting with her keys. She sat on the edge of the couch, her hands folded in her lap, like a kid about to confess something to their parents. So, she started, not quite meeting my eyes, I've been doing a lot of thinking this past week. Have you? I asked. I was sitting in the chair across from her, my laptop on the coffee table between us, closed, but ready. Yeah, and I think I need more time than I originally thought. I'm realizing that maybe we rushed into the engagement. Maybe I'm not ready for marriage yet. I'm only 29, and I feel like I haven't fully figured out who I am as a person. Is that right? Please, don't be angry. I love you, I do, but I need to be honest with myself about what I want. It's not fair to either of us if I'm not completely sure. Honest, I repeated slowly. Okay, let me be honest too. I opened my laptop and turned it toward her. On the screen were the screenshots, the messages, all of it laid out chronologically. Her face went completely white. The color just drained out like someone had pulled a plug. I found your iPad, I said, my voice eerily calm. Thursday. I've read everything, every single message since November. Oh my God, she whispered, her hand going to her mouth. I can explain. No, I cut her off. You really can't. You've been cheating on me since December with Derek from your office party. You lied about needing space. You're still lying right now, sitting on our couch, trying to feed me some bullshit about not being ready for marriage when the real reason is you've been screwing some guy you've known for 6 weeks. She started crying, those same real tears from before. I didn't mean for it to happen this way. But it did happen, multiple times. And you know what the worst part is? You kept me hanging. You let me sit here thinking our relationship was salvageable, that you were working through your feelings while you were out playing house with him. I watched you kiss him last night, Sarah. I followed you to dinner and watched you through the window wearing the dress from our engagement. Her crying got harder. You followed me? Yeah, I did. Because you're a liar and I needed to see it with my own eyes. I was confused, she sobbed, her whole body shaking. I didn't know what I wanted. You knew exactly what you wanted. You just wanted to keep me as backup in case it didn't work out with Derek. Insurance policy, right? 4 years of insurance. She tried to reach for me across the coffee table, but I pulled back hard. Don't touch me. Please, can we just talk about this like adults? We are talking about it. I'm telling you that we're done. Finished. I want you to pack up the rest of your stuff and be completely out by tomorrow evening. I'm keeping the apartment since my name's the only one on the lease. The deposits for the wedding are non-refundable, so congratulations on wasting thousands of dollars of my money on a wedding that's never going to happen. You're being cruel, she said, her voice breaking into pieces. I laughed, and it sounded bitter and harsh even to my own ears. I'm being cruel? Sarah, you told this guy I was an obligation. 4 years of my life, 4 years of planning a future, and I was an obligation you needed to escape from. She didn't have anything to say to that. She just sat there crying. Get out, I said quietly. Come back tomorrow for your stuff. I'll be at work. She left without another word. Final update. It's been 5 weeks since she moved out. She took her stuff on Monday while I was at work. I'd left keys with my friend Mike to supervise and make sure she didn't take anything that wasn't hers. According to Mike, she cried the entire time, kept saying she'd made a huge mistake, that she loved me. Mike said he didn't respond, just made sure she took her things and left the keys on the counter. She tried calling me probably 15 times that first week. I blocked her number after the 3rd day. She sent emails, long ones explaining how confused she'd been, how Derek had pursued her relentlessly, how she'd never meant to hurt me. I filtered them all to spam without reading past the first few lines. Her friend Monica actually showed up at my apartment once trying to advocate on Sarah's behalf, telling me I was being too harsh and that Sarah was devastated. I told Monica she had 30 seconds to leave or I'd call the cops for trespassing. She left in 20. I found out from our mutual friend Jason that Sarah and Derek are officially together now. They made it Facebook official 2 weeks ago with some photo of them at a park. Some people commented congratulations. Some people who knew about me and our engagement didn't comment at all. Jason said Sarah's been telling people we'd been on the rocks for months, and that the split was mutual, that we both realized we wanted different things. He said he called her out on it, and she blocked him. I canceled the wedding venue last week, lost the $2,500 deposit on that, lost another $1,200 on the photographer who had a no-refund policy, almost $4,000 down the drain for a wedding that was never going to happen. I kept the engagement ring. It's sitting in my sock drawer. I'm not sure what I'll do with it yet. Maybe sell it and take a trip somewhere. Maybe throw it into the river. Haven't decided. My mom called when she found out everything. She never really liked Sarah, said something always felt off about her, that she seemed too concerned with appearances, but she refrained from saying, "I told you so," which I genuinely appreciated. Dad offered to take me to a basketball game next weekend. I said yes. It'll be good to get out. The apartment still feels too big sometimes, too empty. I've been sleeping on the couch most nights because the bed feels wrong, like it belongs to a different version of me. I packed up all her remaining stuff, the books she forgot on the shelf, the coffee mug with her initial on it, a hairbrush with strands of her blonde hair still in it, and donated everything to Goodwill. I didn't want any reminders sitting around. A coworker asked me last week if I was okay, said I seemed different. I said yes, but I'm not entirely sure that's true. I'm functional. I go to work, I pay my bills, I see friends on weekends. But there's this anger that sits in my chest constantly that I don't know what to do with. Not even anger at her anymore, really. Anger at myself for not seeing it sooner, for missing all the signs that must have been there, for trusting the wrong person, for wasting 4 years building a life with someone who could throw it away for someone she'd known 6 weeks. People keep telling me it gets better with time. I'm waiting for that part to kick in.